One man struggles against the changing seasons. It's dark outside for most of the time. There's been snow, now there's not snow, but it's still dark. How will this one man deal with seasonal order of the defection? Only time will tell.
How's it going, folks? I don't know about you, but I got me a good dose of the winter blues. I can muster up enough strength to be happy around people. And then when I get home, I just sit in my chair and wonder about things like why do they change the time? Who are they? I just think you should know I'm in a dark basement on a dark winter night in southwest Montana. And I don't know what I'm going to talk about. What I'll probably talk about, I don't have any guests. I know I have some potential guests. Had dear old dad on here a while ago. And you know what? This gets to probably why it's been difficult to do podcasts, because we had our final meeting to figure out my mom's headstone. And he's on there too, and that's weird, you know, like for him, he goes, yeah, I'm looking at my name on my own headstone. But those type of things, you know, they'll kind of hit you. My family and I were on year number 2 of our mom being gone, and I don't know what we thought. I was talking to my brother Josh last night about this. I don't know what we thought it was going to be. Like, once we got to a year, then it's... Because I felt way better once we got to a year, and then you hit the holidays, and I don't know about you, but my mom was an expert at holidays. She was an expert holidayer. She was an expert at holidaying. She had a PhD in cozy. She had a PhD in hospitality. And so, we just miss her this time of year more than others. I mean, we always miss her, but if you have lost someone close, like, I mean, immediate family member, sometimes you lose a grandparent, and that'll take you down a few pegs. But if you lose an immediate family member, that'll kind of take the wind out of your sails for a while. But there's a lot of good stuff. So here's what I'm thinking. My favorite few combo words I learned in rural Minnesota was it's but it's really sped up. It's one of my favorites. I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before. Another one of my favorite combo words is then. It's like one word, but it's then or. But the or transforms to an and then it's then or, but it's then or. I like that one. What else? I don't know. Those are the two that are sticking out right now. But here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about ways to cope with, maybe not break out of, but to cope with the winter blues. It's science. It is just science that when there's less light, you're just gonna be a little bit more sad if you're like me. If you're not like me, and the changing seasons and the darkness don't affect you, congratulations. I wish I could bottle up what you have and take a big swig. You ever talk to those people? I never have that. Yeah, well, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you never have that. I am one who happens to have that. So I get sad. I get sad in the wintertime. You throw some things on top of that. And here's the thing. I like the winter. I like it. I like winter in Montana. The best thing about winter in my homeland here in my area is that the sun does come out a lot. There are some places you can live. I mean, it felt like when we had good old-fashioned winters in Minnesota, the sun just never came out. It was always overcast in the winter, and I'm sure the sun did come out. But there, when the sun comes out, where I lived, wonderful people, but when the sun comes out, all you see are dead corn stalks, dead bean stalks, and snow or as we would call it, snow. And yeah, but maybe the winters are a little shorter there than here. I don't know. I'm getting into dad stuff. But how do you fight the winter blues? Are you gonna raise a fuss? Are you gonna raise a holler? You've been working all weekend just to try and earn $1. Working all summer just to try and earn $1. That's what. Were you working all winter just to try and earn $1? Sometimes do you wonder what you're going to do? Because there ain't no cure for the wintertime blues. Well, I've got some good news for you because there are some cures for the wintertime blues. Cure number one. And of course, I don't have a piece of paper. I don't have a pen. I don't have anything to write with. But cure number one for the wintertime blues is a hot beverage of your choice. I don't know what that is for you. For me, most mornings, it's a good, strong cup of coffee. Just read this thing about the Nordic folks, specifically the Norwegians, that they'll get a warm drink, a hot drink, and they'll stand by a window in the sun or even go stand out in the sun. Now, that might be number 2. Go stand out. It's going to be number 2 if you can find some sun. But anyway, let's go back to the hot beverage because I want to get into a few details here. My number 1 most favorite beverage that I put in my body is strong coffee. Right now, I got a big old pickled peck of Death Wish coffee. Grind it up, put it in my AeroPress or in a pour over, and I make hot coffee and I drink it. Something I've noticed, I don't know if this happens as you get older, but I don't need, quote, need. You never really need caffeine. Okay, by the way, all these health people drink caffeine, don't drink caffeine. Oh, nicotine's good, nicotine's bad. But I don't think that I, quote, need as much caffeine as I used to. I used to just power down coffee. Never forget one of my brothers, again, Josh, well, double Josh already. He said, I just can't drink too much coffee or I get overcome with fear and panic. And I'm like, oh, I don't have that. And then one day I drank like 1.5 pots of coffee and I was freaking out about everything. Maybe I do have that. Just maybe not. Maybe I have a little bit of a higher tolerance, but I can get by with one good cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee in the big time, yeah. Yeah, old Rube thinks he's going to have his cup of coffee in the big time. And I do. Every morning I get up and I make a cup of coffee.
So my favorite winter beverage usually is coffee, but close number 2 this year, and this happens every so often, I did some research and I looked up what types of tea, bagged tea, that the British prefer. And I'm not going to do the accent because, it's like one of the easiest accents to do and none of us really get it right. But anyway, I looked up what tea they prefer and I think it's now I have to Yorkshire tea. And it's just good old fashioned black tea. It's got some caffeine, but not an overwhelming amount of caffeine. I put 2 of them little baggies in my travel mug, and I let it steep for like 10 minutes. I just let her buck hard for 10 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna sound all right. I'm gonna sound a little bit like a wuss, but I like to put 2 teaspoons of shiggy, pure cane sugar. My brothers and I say it shiggy, and then I put a little bit of milk in there. Bing boom bang. Sometimes I like tea a little bit better than coffee, depending on the season, because if the caffeine's really cranking me up to the point at which I feel like a meth addict, then I switch down to tea, black tea, caffeinated black tea, and that's been really good. Some good old tea with a couple of teaspoons of sugar and a little bit of milk in there. Yeah, I like that. Close third for me is a nice warm cup of hot chocolate. Nice warm cup of hot chocolate. So whatever your favorite winter beverages, if you're down in Texas, you might be one of the rare birds that likes hot Dr. Pepper. It's a thing. Look it up with a lemon in it. But whatever your favorite hot drink is, cider, good cup of hot cider, go a long way. Some people like to put a bunch of crap in it. Not me. Give it to me straight up. I don't need any of that other garbage. And there's all kinds of other gross drinks. I am judging you, that people. But whatever your favorite. So I would say, honestly, just day in and day out, remedy number one for the winter blues, just in my book, is a nice hot beverage, especially if you're in a place where it's cold or it gets kind of overcast and dreary. Nice hot beverage. Enjoy it. Take a sit, maybe pull out your Bible or watch a little documentary or something, and you get up and you say a prayer or two or three and you have yourself a nice drink. So that would be thing number one. Thing number two to get out of the winter blues is find some sun. Now, that can be difficult in some places, especially if it's overcast more often than not. Find some sun. I have to try and force myself because sometimes, I work inside. A lot of what I do involves writing and communicating and phone calls and correspondence. And so I can get stuck inside pretty easily, and then I have no will to go outside, and it is a huge bummer. So get out and find some sun. Maybe if it's too extremely cold, go for a drive, find some sun, park your car so that you're in the sun and let it hit your face and sit in the sun for a while. That would be thing number two. So thing number one, hot beverage of your choice. Thing number two would be find some sun and put your face in the sun, face the sun, soak it up, and just be in there. Now, some of you cheaters, and you know who I'm talking, you know who you are, go down south for the winter. Now, I don't blame you. Honestly, I don't wish I was you. I don't blame you. But those of us who want to just tough it out like true Norsemen, we're going to stay up here. We're going to figure it out, okay? We'll muscle through the seasonal affective disorder because we're stubborn, we're hard-headed. We come from ancestors who would bury fish in the ground till it got rotten and then eat it. Lutefisk. Anyway, so, the Norse people, they know how to do it. So I would say, okay, again, let me just recap so that I can remember myself. Hot drink, favorite hot beverage, whatever it is, get it, stock up on it, and then going out and finding some sun. Now, if you don't have sun, everyone has it, but if it's overcast most of the time where you're from, you might want to consider getting one of those lights for light therapy. I've heard they work. I had one for a while, but I was too depressed to turn it on. Maybe I should try one again. That was when I lived in Minnesota for the last stretch there. Val got me a light for light therapy, and I was too depressed to turn it on. But anyway, hot beverage, get in the sun. And a third thing, and I can't remember, I know the Dutch have a word for it, but there's also a Norse word for it, is coziness. Now, you can take it too far, but I'll tell you, I'm not sure if you can take it too far. This stretch, at least to me, what I've noticed from mid-November all the way up until the days get to their shortest point, man, it's hard. And I think you need to be cozy. You need to get yourself under a blanket, cozy up with your loved ones, cozy up with your kids, your pets, and just chill. Just hang out. Hang out and be cozy. Be cozy. And I think by extension, I'm not gonna turn this. Nope, I'm gonna turn this into another. So cozy under the blanket, be cozy, be warm. Do that. Just I would say just get under that blanket, be cozy. Whatever you need to do to be cozy. Wrap up with your dogs or your loved one or your kids or whatever, man. You just gotta wrap up, man. You gotta be cozy, man. And then by extension, get the right clothing so that you can go outside. That might seem kind of weird. Now, personally, all I usually need through the entire winter is a flannel shirt and a vest of some sort. But if you're a cold-blooded individual, my daughter wears her Crocs, has been wearing her Crocs in the winter. whatever. So anyway, yep, bad dad. Okay, don't care. But whatever you need to get to be warm out there, comfortable winter clothes that keep you warm. I got a good pair of Schneider's pull-on boots that was made by my good friend Corrine Warden. I put those on, and that helps. Just having the right clothing, having the right clothing you can put on, and you can go out there and you can be comfortable outside because you got the right stuff on. You can go lay in the snow for a while, which is something I like to do. Quick story, which none of my stories are quick, but I was in a band called 6 Mile Road. I called it the Old Man Band out there in Hills, Minnesota. And we used to play for events, and we played these little events in Hills. And one event we played, I can't remember, it was some kind of Christmas party or New Year's Eve party or something at the Legion in Hills. And it was so hot in there. Those old buildings, they knew how to heat them. It was super hot. And we got done playing, and I went outside and I laid in the snow with a t-shirt on. I was so hot. So anyway, maybe you're not like me, but I'll tell you, nothing feels better than going out in the cold when you're hot. I mean, that's another, I mean, I think that would be another one that is a segue. You can segue from clothing to just going outside. And I would qualify going outside as different from getting sun, because you can technically get sun from your car or get sun from inside of your house. But if the sun's not out, you might just need to go outside anyway. Like, just go out there. I'm grateful that I have to move a certain amount of snow because I just have to go out there. Now, the snow's all melted, and I don't really know how to feel about it because it was like 60 degrees yesterday or something, which is just insane to me. And I worry when it gets this warm in the winter because I'm the son of a farmer and a brother of a farmer. And if we don't get enough snow, then it's going to be a struggle for irrigation and all that. But anyway, if it is snowing, go out there and move snow, shovel snow, or just go out there. Just go out there for a bit. Go out there for a few minutes. Go outside. That helps a lot. So if I can recap, and I'm probably forgetting things, I'm kind of thankful. I'm sure this is generated by AI, but Spotify does these little subtitle things, which I'm really grateful for. I'm a grateful butt. That's what I just said. Anyway, first, get a hot drink. Have a hot drink every day. Your favorite hot beverage. Not most of you. I mean, it's like death before decaf, right? Like, you'd never go without your favorite beverage, hot beverage in the morning. Excuse me. I do have a little bit of a cold. Anyway, so hot beverage of your choice. Maybe stock up on that. Maybe make it a little special. Maybe get yourself a little bit of that flavored syrups. And them flavored syrups, put it in there. But whatever that is, hot beverage, spend time out in the sun. Be cozy and wear the right clothing so that you can be outside and then actually go outside. Like, don't just go on an Amazon streak and buy a bunch of stuff for the winter and then not go outside. Back to the going outside thing. This first snowfall of this year, my daughter and I went out and built a snow fort, and it was the perfect kind of snow, and it's since melted. Because that's just how things go. But we had a good time. And she, of course, didn't want to go inside. And I got wore out. I'm like, hey, let's go inside. And she goes, no, I think we're not done yet. But it was so fun. And those are those things. If we get a big snow pile, because we have a parking lot right next to our house, we get a big snow pile, we'll go out there and make like a bobsled course off the snow pile. That's pretty fun. You got to go outside. Even if you just go for a walk around the block, or you go outside and just try to tough it out for a while, that helps me a lot. The next thing that I would recommend is some form of media that you enjoy. You're going to be inside probably more often than not. And so if you can have a good show going, maybe you resolve to watch through a series of movies that you like. I mean, I have series of movies. Excuse the sniffling. It drives me nuts. I'll punch myself. Anyway, but if there's a good series of movies you like, if you enjoy The Lord of the Rings, yeah, I'm a nerd, but every year my brothers and I try to watch The Lord of the Rings, not in one shot, but we probably should because we need to be more hardcore than we are. But a movie series, or every year we'll try to watch the Star Wars movies. Double nerd. That's like double layer of nerd that I've just shown you that I am. A TV show that you like. I mean, I know Stranger Things just came out with another season, but I don't have Netflix because I'm sick of the media industrial complex. Maybe it's that. Right now, I'm watching through a bunch of really poorly made superhero movies on an undisclosed media platform, but I'm getting a kick out of it because they're comedies where people, what I mean is unintentional comedies. Unintentional comedies, but it's cool because they're unintentionally funny. They make me laugh without trying to make me laugh, and people punch each other a lot. Just fills my tank. You got to be careful with the depressing movies, but sometimes, like, I have this weird thing where I will watch Fargo in the most depressing point of the winter, and it makes me feel better. Maybe it's just because a really nice Minnesota sheriff's deputy is the protagonist, and that just kind of puts me in a good mood. There are no people, in my estimation. I mean, true Montanans are tough, but there are no people I've known that are more resilient than Minnesotans. North Dakotans are right up there too, South Dakotans. Anyway, probably Wyoming, whatever. But like when it comes to cold weather, the Minnesotans have it figured out. But anyway, back to the movie thing. Watch some of your favorite movies. Watch some of your favorite shows. Line up some documentaries that interest you, and then make yourself do that. Like, make yourself just watch it. Say, okay, I know I'm gonna like this. I know that this is gonna be good. I'm just gonna press play and not even think about it. That's what I have to do sometimes because I get option paralysis, and I keep scrolling through movies like, oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Sometimes I go, I know this movie is going to be horrible, and I'm gonna watch it anyway. And I'm going to commit to watching it. I kind of like doing that. So on the flip side of that, this is going to seem maybe a little counterintuitive, but unless you're texting loved ones or friends, or better yet, calling them on the phone, I would advise you to try and keep your phone time down in this season. I think all seasons, honestly, but especially now, because you can get in this tunnel mode where you're stuck on your phone. And you're in this weird, bizarro world of social media, and you're seeing stuff people are doing, and it just isn't good for you. I don't think it's good for you. Well, and I don't have to guess. I mean, scientifically, it's been shown that being on your phone too much is bad for you. So maybe put the phone away. Like, have it. You can set limits on your phone. You can set screen time limits. You can make rules for yourself. You know, something that I strive to do, unless there are a bunch of urgent things going on. I'll take my phone and I will put it on silent, and I'll put it in our bedroom, and then I'm just done. I'm done for the night. And I need to stick with that, because what I find is my mood gets worse, and my anxiety level increases the more I spend on my phone. And that's kind of a difficult thing being a musician, because I'm always trying to promote things, or being a podcaster, trying to promote this. But you do finally just have to put it away and don't be on it too much, because you can just be sucked into this portal of despair. And I don't believe that phones help a low mood. So if you're struggling with the wintertime blues and you're on your phone all the time, I mean, you might not think that it's affecting you, but it probably is affecting you more than you think it is. And there are some people who just aren't easily bothered by things. I'm easily bothered by things, so I just need to get off my phone. Sometimes people send me innocent memes in Instagram. You know who you are. And I get mad. I read too much into it. So at that point, I have to say, okay, I'm going to put the phone down for a while, and I'm going to take a break, and I'm not going to look at it. And for some reason, my computer doesn't stress me out as much. So if I want to look at guitars or just surf the web, how's that for an antiquated term? I'll use my computer, but I try to just watch movies at night. And people will probably say that's not good, but it's a tank filler for me. We always talk about tank fillers in my family. Good movies and shows are a tank filler for me, so I try to keep those going. But anyway, put your phone down. So if I work in reverse order, I'll see if I can remember. Keep your phone, don't overuse your phone. Watch movies or shows that you enjoy. Or in that case, read a good book. So some form of media that you enjoy. Maybe that's reading a good book. More of us should probably read more than we do, because it does help your brain immensely. I have one that I'm working through really slowly, and it does help me. So, okay, keep your phone put away, watch movies you enjoy, actually go outside, get clothing that allows you to go outside, be cozy. Let's see, what else did I have? Get in the sun. Regardless of how you do it, get in the sun or get a lamp that you can sit under and get some light therapy. Hot beverage of your choice and be cozy. I already said be cozy. I think I have everything. I'm going to start losing track of things as this time goes on. I'm going to do 2 more. I'm going to do 2 more and then I'm going to wrap this up. Hopefully keep it under a half hour around there. I'll have some guests down the road, but I wanted to keep posting because guess what? I saw so many people had listened to this podcast when I got my year-end summary. I thought, well, I better keep doing that. Like, there's a fair amount of people that listen to this regularly. So thank you for listening. This is one of the things, as a matter of fact, that I love doing that I'm forcing myself to do. And that gets me to my next thing. Force yourself to do things you like to do. Because if you struggle with a low mood, one of the symptoms of depression or even seasonal depression is anhedonia, which basically means you don't do things or you don't find joy in the things that you normally found joy in. I'm saying make yourself do it. I have played 3 or 4 gigs that I have not felt like playing since it's gotten so dark. And what I find is those things always make me feel better. So I pack up my guitars and I don't want to. I unload everything, and I don't want to. I talk to people I don't know, which I don't want to do. I set everything up, which I don't want to do. I play music for 2-3 hours, which I don't want to do. And then all of a sudden, through the course of all that, I start feeling better because I force myself to do something that I like to do. I don't cancel it. I force myself to do it. Whatever that is, what do you like to do? Are you not doing stuff that you actually really like to do? Then you need to maybe make a list. Oh, sometimes you forget. What are the things I like to do? Oh, I like to draw, or I like to sew, or I like to knit, or I like to study this, or I like to collect that, or I like to ski, or I like to snowboard, or I like to go for drives, or I like to go people watch, whatever. That's a little creepy, but some people like that. But whatever it is you like to do, force yourself to do it. If you're a musician, sit down and write something or play your instrument. Force yourself to do things you like to do. I think that makes sense. Whatever that might be, you have to ask yourself, wait a minute. You have to ask yourself, are you not doing things that you actually like to do? And yourself could say, oh, I think so. All right. So make a list of the things that you like and then start doing some of those things. Make time for it. Start doing it. And then lastly, and there are plenty of others. I might add a bonus one here. We'll see what happens. But second to lastly, or lastly, depending on how I feel in the next couple minutes, I would say, I am saying, get a project done. That might seem crazy. And there's some overlap between this and the last one for sure. But I had this toilet in my basement. Some of you that follow me on social media saw that I fixed my toilet. That toilet, I have to say it, that toilet pooped out before Thanksgiving. What a time. One of 3 toilets in my house, which is, by the way, that's an ample amount of toilets for a family of 3. But we're going to have a bunch of family over for Thanksgiving. Val's making a bunch of stuff. My toilet goes out. And of course, it's always around that time. Do I want to go shopping for toilet parts around Black Friday? So I took off the old part and I just waited. Well, finally, I waited like 3 or 4 weeks. Finally, I stirred up the will to just get out there and get the parts that I needed. I had to return one of the parts that I had that wasn't working, that wasn't going to work. And so I went, I got it, I fixed the toilet, and I could not believe how much better that made me feel. So whatever that might be, if it's dusting a few surfaces in your house, if it's taking one bag out of one room and putting that bag somewhere else or in the trash, or organizing one shelf or organizing one drawer, whatever that is, it'll help you. I mean, I can't stand working up working up the energy to vacuum, but I always feel better once I vacuumed, and I couldn't believe how much better I felt after I fixed that toilet when it worked. It was so awesome. And then push through. Like maybe you don't get something working at first and you get discouraged. Just push through, because those little tiny victories, I think they stack up and they can contribute to a way, way better mood. All right, bonus. We're over a half hour, but here's a bonus. Spend time with people you enjoy spending time with. Now, for some people, they enjoy spending time with their family. That's me. I like spending time with my brothers. I like spending time with my dad. As a matter of fact, I had the old man drive my drummer and I out to a show in Billings last weekend, and it was awesome. He's an expert driver, and we just had a great time. It was a huge tank filler. And then we left my drummer in Billings because he didn't pay for gas. No, he was going to ride back with his other friends. So my dad and I, we drove home together, and we talked for the hour, the two hours, hour and a half. That was 2 hours. We just talked about pretty much anything you could imagine, and had such a great visit. We talked about some grief stuff. We talked about life stuff. We talked about farm stuff and music stuff, all kinds of stuff. And it was just awesome. So spend time with people that you like spending time with. For some of you, you might have a hard time spending time with your family. It might be difficult for you to spend too much time with your family. So spend time with some good friends, some acquaintances, whomever. Go meet people, go out, go. Spend time with people that you enjoy spending time with. I'm an introvert. People don't think that I'm an introvert. I am a total introvert. My batteries are recharged when I'm away from people. I love my people. I love most people, as a matter of fact. But when I spend time with people too much, it just totally drains my batteries. Okay, all right. Gather your thoughts, Mr. Rubin. Okay, so here's a flip side to that. Spending too much time with people drains my batteries, but for some reason, meeting new random people that I've never met before and talking to them fills my tank, charges my batteries. So I have to remember that. I know that if I go somewhere and have conversations with a few people that I've never met before, that's a life-giving thing for me. So those are just some quick tips as to how you could fight the winter blues. Let me work in reverse order and see if I can get it right. If I didn't, I'm pretty sure that the auto-generated subtitle thing in the podcast app will get it for me. But spend time with people you enjoy spending time with. Get a project done, no matter how small. Get a project done. Force yourself to do things that you like to do. Okay, I'm down 3. This is hard for my brain and my attention span issues. Force yourself to do things that you like to do, and you might have to force yourself to do things you like to do. Watch a good movie, watch a good series, read a good book, whatever that is. Consume some media that you know you enjoy. All right, what else do we got? Go outside, be cozy. Wear warm clothes or get warm clothes so that you can spend time outside. Go spend time out in the sun. Find sunlight wherever it is. Find the sunlight and make yourself a good hot beverage. There's a chance I missed something in my recap, but if you want to rewind and re-listen, whatever, maybe I'll try and go back through and I don't know. Make a list or something like that. But whatever you need to do, get through the winter blues. One little takeaway I'll give you is don't drink too much. It almost never helps. Alcohol's a depressant. Do with that what you will, folks. Thanks for listening to the Rubecast. It's been a while, so hopefully it will not be such a while between now and the next one. I got a really fun guest lined up. Until then, take care of yourselves. Have a holly jolly Christmas.